Hey everyone, my name's Josh the RV Nerd. Welcome to Hail It RV. We're starting inside today because it's raining like a son of a gun, and that makes juggling the camera with an umbrella a little bit trickier. The good news is we have the technology, so enjoy our Hail It RV floor plan in a flash so you can see what we're working with here. This is the 7,120-pound Alpha Wolf 26RL, and it is such a good example of like smarter class camping. It has all of the curb appeal in the world. Oh my lord, does this thing have such a good look to it. But it's a really smartly appointed RV. I think it's a very good fit for someone who's looking for some big time space in a couple's RV that isn't going to break the bank or necessarily require like a 1-ton pickup. It's light enough with the proper vehicle, you can still get it moved around, but it's large enough that if you want to spend a long time there, you can do that too. And it has all the main things you're going to want, I think, for enjoyable everyday use, like a true queen bed, the bigger vent fan in the bathroom. It's got all of the windows in the world on the door side over here, brother. And something that kind of surprised me is little things like the 2+2 dining arrangement over here, where you've got 2 full-time chairs for the 1 or 2 of you, and then a couple guest chairs in case you have some friends or family, like maybe somebody's sleeping on your hide-a-bed, or maybe they're just coming over to play cards, and then you're going to send them along their merry way. Now, one quick note for you. One little exception here, this RV that we're looking at today does have a 2-way gas electric absorption fridge, which in a way I think is cool that you get to see that is an available option from the Alpha Wolf group. Normally what you'd find in here is a 10.7 cubic foot 12 volt DC compressor fridge. That is normally how we build them at Hail It RV. This one just a little bit atypical by request of a specific client, effectively. I've talked enough. Let me get out of the way and get inside here. And I mean, the signature calling card of this one is just the wide open, like fifth wheel sized and feeling living room here with the opposing super slides, all of the windows in the world over here on the door side, which is something I like. The light color package and a surprisingly generous lighting package up here. This thing lights up like a Christmas tree. It makes it look and feel a lot bigger in here. Like just for instance, if I turn those off, it kind of dies a little bit, but you still got lots of lights from the windows, but those lights really just add enough, breathe some life into it. Now, above both super slides, you have the Coors blue lights there, and that also does activate a little accent panel here in the island fascia, by the way. You see another kind of Coors Labatt blue light inside the television housing. That's obviously on a separate switch that can be turned off if you want. Some people like the blue lights, some people do not. To me, it just depends. Sometimes they feel right, and sometimes they feel wrong. I don't know how else to say it. So it's very subjective, and sometimes it even varies by floor plan for me. I will always try to shoot you straight and be fair. Like, I will even point out little things that some folks might consider derogatory, like the fact that not every single window in this opens up. You do have windows all over the place for some amazing visibility. You even have a full viewing window in the entry door. I would like it if that had a privacy shade. It is shade prepped. It just doesn't have the shade itself from the factory level. But amazing views of my door side of the RV. In an RV like this with a big living room, chances are I could see myself spending more time just inside of it running the air. Maybe the window's not opening, not too big of a deal. I do like how they're all framed out very nicely though. Like it's a very snazzy looking model for sure. And this table's a little bit different. In this class, at this price point, you don't normally get that 2+2 dining arrangement that we're looking at right here, where 2 of the chairs fold away. Like you see how I've got one of them kind of folded up and moved out of the way right there. I like that hardwood tabletop, how it's got like a very, almost like, I don't want to say barnwood, but kind of a little bit of a live edge to it, something like that, you know what I mean? It just adds a little bit of shape and character. And that's what I like about these guys. They are simple where they should be, but they're fancy where they could be. That's a description that historically I had really only given to the Apex series of Coachman ultralights, but I really feel that Arctic Wolf is really deserving of that phrase as well. And it's stuff like this. This is what I'm talking about. There's a ton of people that have theater seating directly across from the entertainment center. I like to call it the no-neck wrecker entertainment center. But these guys have still found a way to take it up a little bit of a notch. There's a lot of companies that have stopped doing heat massage theater seating. But you know what you get here in your Alpha? Massage and heat theater seat. And this is a nice big one with a large center console. You got 4 cup holders in this thing in case both of you are two-fisting it. And then just a little storage chest kind of thing in that armrest that's hidden away. That is an awesome little spot to just keep your phones tucked away, or like remote controls to keep those things from, slipping down between the cushions when you're not using them. Sometimes it's amazing how little details like that make a big difference. Now, all of the countertops in this, by the way, they're all a sealed edge press membrane. And that means that if you do happen to spill a drink, no biggie deal. You just wipe it down. Obviously, you don't want to leave it there any longer than you have to. Even the side stands on both sides of that sofa have the exact same material. And I love the household and USB outlets on both sides of that sofa. One other thing on that sofa is that, where do I want, let's go ahead and just pop it open. If you take a look at that, you can see that it is a nice large trifold. So if you, now that is the same size trifold that I have spent a weekend on with my wife in the back of Mr. Halett's Montana fifth wheel. I know for a fact, 2 adults, even somebody my size, can get along. Now, my feet hung off the edge of that, but we got along for a weekend. I was a guest. I wasn't going to complain. And frankly, you don't want your guests being too comfortable in your Alpha Wolf from Haylett RV, because then, they just want to come over and stay all the time. What you should do is you give them a link to our website where they can come get their own. Now, that being said, I may have some ulterior motives with that suggestions, but hey, what are you going to do? Below the no neck wrecker, we have ourselves that electric space heat and Tootsie Toaster down there. And a couple things. There's all sorts of various Bluetoothy functions on this one. If you want, you can Bluetooth to the stereo and play some music wirelessly. This has a Bluetooth command system where if you want to, you can like run the slides and awnings and lights and things like that from your phone. It also has a Bluetooth LCI Insight rear view camera so that you can see what you're doing when you're backing into your campsite. So it's simple where it should be. You can just walk in and push buttons, but it's fancy where it could be by giving you a couple other additional opportunities. Now, as I mentioned, you can turn those lights off, and I think the lights behind the entertainment area right there, they're really aggressive because they're kind of intended to be a backlight behind the TV just to give it a neat little glow. These do not ship from the factory with a television. Biggest reason is because basically you can get a better TV that is potentially larger for less money from the big box store of your choice. But it does give us a very good look at the pantrytainment center that we have back here. Some serious potential storage space going on. Down below here, we have the signature RV Nerd Preferred Adidas door stops that help the pantry doors stay open when I need them to while we're doing our videos here. Shoes not included, although I suppose for the right price we could work something out. Also, I do always find it a little bit humorous when they write the word pantry on the pantry, just in case you forgot what you were looking at. My personal feeling is that if you're to the stage in your life where you can't remember what a pantry is, writing the word on it is not going to get you back on track. So right over here, you've got like a combination cutting board backsplash that magnets in place right there, or as my wife calls it, the Whack Attacker! Corporate McStuffy Pants has advised the Whack Attacker not be used for whacking any person, even though we all know it would do a super good job. But she's it's how she keeps me in line, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, that is an optional 8 cubic foot gas electric 2-way absorption fridge. The standard in here, and what you will be seeing most of the time at Haylett RV, is the 10.7 12 volt DC compressor fridge. I do think it is cool that you get to see you do have both options. There is some redeeming value to that. It is a very good option if you are going to be doing a little bit of, say, boondocking dry camping, especially when paired up with the juice pack package that we have in this. It helps you keep your lights and your fans running longer. It gives you some good extended time. Now, one thing I noticed, first of all, that door down there, that does not open, by the way. You see a handle on it, and I've pulled on it twice. But there's stuff under here. There's like furnace stuff or water pumpy heater stuff. I'm not sure exactly what, but there's stuff down there. But one of the things I noticed is that counter sits up a little higher. And maybe it's just because I'm a taller person. I like it. I like that height exchange. It brings the things up to me where I can actually reach them, which is hard for me to find most of the time. Now you can also see this has a pretty generously sized island right here. But one of my favorite parts of that, really smart design decision in my view. As a person who goes camping, I like this. It's an asymmetrical island. So in times like this, when that big stainless, black stainless, that good looking farm sink is in function, you still have useful countertop space in play. You don't lose out on all of your prep space like you tend to with a centralized sink. It tends to really screw stuff up. That also means that they had plenty of room over here for some extra kitchen drawers, because so far you've really only seen one. And because it is such a big island, man, I'm bumping into stuff. Sorry if the camera lurched on you there. You got space down there for big pots, pans, organizers. You could add a little shelf, but a wastebasket. And notice too, that big one-piece sink there, that is the same material as the countertop itself. It is heavy duty. So if the sink is not being used, you can turn that sprayer faucet kind of out of the way a little bit and have yourself more prep space. Not to mention the fact there's plenty of pretty easily reached outlets through this RV, including the extra USB plugs on the island there. That is one of those people touches that so many RVs don't do, but it's like, when you're in the kitchen, why wouldn't you want your phone charging? It makes sense. Further up in the hallway, you see that this is a dual entry bed and bath. This would work very well for couples like myself and my wife. I tend to just sleep like the dead. Usually, she's up once or twice at night for various reasons. So having the dual doors giving us each our own kind of independence or ease of access to the bathroom facilities, I think is a really smart decision. And that huge linen cabinet right there, that is worth its weight in gold, or RV toilet paper, which, as everyone knows, toilet paper is not worth its weight in gold. Gold is worth its weight in toilet paper ever since roughly March of 2020. Now, all the common Cherokee high points are here in this laminated cousin to the Cherokee Stick and Tin series that we have at Halets, like the Grey Wolves and the actual Cherokees. Like the big vent fan. This is a 6.5 foot tall interior, which means that if you're 6 foot or shorter, you should be able to stand in that shower no problem. If you're a little bit bigger like me, you might have to do a little bit of standing in the bubble or potentially a little ducking. Thankfully, that is a nice larger radius shower where you're going to have plenty of room to get yourself soaked up. I don't have to worry about hair care products so much, but I still got a big old bulbous dad bod that I got to take care of. Impressive leg room around here too. And I tell you what, not just long leg room for me, but hip and shoulder room if you're a little bit fluffier. I thought it did pretty well overall. Extra large sink here, as is the case in the majority of the Cherokee family. That's something that's actually old school classic Forest River that Cherokee just never let go of. And a lot of other brands have done to try to save $1 here, $1 there. I like that angled medicine cabinet. Gives you a place to keep all your Lipitor's and stuff out of the way. Moving up front here, very nice private secluded master bedroom behind a nice actual privacy door. Now that sliding door you could always lock down if you just add like a little U-latch. That's no big deal right there. Big giant window over here on the campsite too. So if you wake up, you sit up in bed, you're like, what was that sound? Was that a raccoon? Was that a bear? Was that a gas station murder hobo come to get us? Hopefully it's not the last one there. That is a 60 by 80 true queen bed, by the way. So taller people like me, once again, you're going to be able to fit in this thing pretty comfortably. And again, that's why I like it. Maybe a taller person like me has to duck in the shower a little bit. I'm okay with that, because I only spend like 8 minutes in the shower. I spend 8 hours in bed, and I do like to be comfortable. Now, road mode's going to be a rather short clip on this one. Obviously, we're in the bedroom. You see that you can get to the bathroom door on the right from the entry door on the left. But with the slides closed, as is usually the case with this floor plan for pretty much anybody who builds it, unless you're going to do a Dukes of Hazzard, yeehaw, and Bo and Luke Duke your way over this thing, you're really not going to get to much else, which is a shame, really, because, I don't know, it's so close to being able to at least get to the refrigerator. But, I mean, unless you got some stretch arms, strong arms, that's just not going to happen. I'd like it to be another way, but it's not. But I'm not going to hide it from you. I know it's a decision-making process, or a decision in the decision-making process that a lot of people have. And I'm going to make sure that you get to see it. And if you like the way that we take the extra time and effort to close stuff up, if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Let's hop back outside where it's raining. And like I said at the start of the video, good gravy do these guys have just an awesome curb appeal. I mean, that's what I like about these. They come in several thousand below many of the other similar laminated type trailers that we would have here at Halet RV, but you still have the good looks,
everything that really matters, like the double awning. I love the double awnings on this instead of burying an awning over the top of that super slide and losing a bunch of potential patio space. The TV mount that you saw inside is the same TV mount that you can see out here, actually. So if you want to set yourself up with some outdoor entertainment over there under the left-hand side, you got it. Still with plenty of room for a picnic table, while also leaving room over here for like chairs and stuff. Now, if you look up top, you see that white air conditioner shroud helping keep the AC running a little bit more efficiently. Like the glass front on that door looking good, but remember, you got a full viewing window in that. Again, though, the first thing I would do with this trailer, I'd install one of those little thin shade privacy shade jobs. Personally, that's just something that would appeal to me. Now, kind of like you saw the optional fridge on the inside, we've talked about the optional electric space heater, the Tootsie Toaster, the fireplace is optional. Power stabilizer jacks are yet another option that you can apply to Alpha Wolf travel trailers if you are so inclined. Got the handy little leash latch there, and in case you're curious what's in the big giant box, that is an outdoor grill that comes on the bumper of this floor plan. That's specific to this model. They don't do it across the board on everything. You saw that motion lighting like there is there in the bathroom doing a handy job for us, letting us see what's in here whenever we do happen to get near. These are a couple things that go with the juice pack. That's the little charge controller as well as the battery disconnect. The battery itself that's on the trailer as well as the 50-watt roof panel, that those four things actually comprise the total juice pack there. It is a little bit expandable. You may need to increase the gauge of some wiring if you want to start expanding it, though, up to 100 watts. In its form right now, it's basically intended to be a good battery tender. And actually, after I opened the slides and the awnings and everything, when I had all the lights running, the battery voltage monitor on the inside, that's the fifth part of that thing I forgot to talk about. Sorry about that. But the battery voltage monitor was reading 12.0 available volts coming off that battery. Think of it like looking at the gauge on your gas tank. By the time I was done with just the interior, it had already climbed back up to 12.3 volts. And again, I'm actually getting lucky right now. The rain kind of broke as soon as I stepped outside, but you can see we have zero clear direct sunlight, and we are still getting positive net charge even with a lot of lights roaring through this thing. The underbelly is enclosed and heated. I'm not going to call this a Four Seasons rig. I'm not one of these people that believes in this fictitious equivalent R-value nonsense. This is a good extended season camper. I'm going to shoot you folks straight. You're going to know exactly what you're getting for your money when you're done chatting with us here at Haylett RV. The centralized hookup station, the outside utility shower, right next to the stinky slinky dump station there. That is handy. Now you might notice there's multiple different poles down there. This specific floor plan has two gray tanks. It has a very large total gray capacity because it actually has two tanks, one for the bathroom and then one just for the kitchen. The behind the fireplace there was a pocket of dead air, and they said, nah, we're not going to just waste it. We're going to do something with it. But again, the consistency, like that's a small little, you call it like an off door. It's not a huge space. Actually, it's not that bad. It's like a tool chest size now that I look at it. But magnet holdbacks, slam latches, all the things that you're going to want. You know, they treat everything the same. When they do it well, kind of thing. Up top, you see that little black antenna sticking out above the word Alpha. That is the antenna for the LCI Insight camera system, which again, there's a little code inside that you scan. It'll basically tell your phone to Bluetooth right to this thing, and there you go. And again, all of the windows over here on the door side. And one other quick mention, you saw the big brown box for the grill. This is where it locates out here. And then your propane cooker hooker with the blue cap is located right over there. Now the codes for that, in-command system I was telling you about, they're just stickers that just come right here on the control panel. You could peel them and move them. They actually ship with the corners kind of pre-peeled so you can relocate them. So they're easy to find. But what I want to put, look at that. It live updated right as we're doing this. That is the live view of the available voltage on the battery up front here. Remember I said it was at 12.3 volts? I walked in, it was 12.4. It had already been recuperating, and it's already up to 12.5. So even on an overcast day, what you don't realize is UV light still penetrates clouds. Clear sun coverage is better, but even overcast will still give you something.
Now, our Alpha Wolves are a little bit newer with us here at Haylett RV, so I would really appreciate some feedback. Let me know what things you like, what questions you have, what things you'd like to see changed given the opportunity, and that can help us not only give feedback to the manufacturer, but also know, are we equipping and building these properly for the way that average folks are looking to take them home? I generally have a good idea, but my idea and your feedback are sometimes two different things, and I want to make sure we're getting it right. And if there's anything else I can do differently for you in my videos, please let me know. I've left you a link for pricing and availability in the video description. If we have one in stock, it'll be there. If not, our team can fill in the blanks. And short of that, if you haven't done so already, take a second to click the like button on the video and subscribe to follow along with us here. And take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy Haylett camping, everyone.